This threefold prayer is karma. Karma means what comes out of your free will. You decide to do. Therefore, you do. This is called karma. Really, the meaning of the word karma is not just action. Karma is an action that is centered on your will. In this, the kayikam karma is a ritual. When we understand what Ishvara is, then kayikam karma becomes a blessing. It is kayikam karma that is capable of producing adrishta much more than vachikam and manasam. If everything is a manifestation of Ishvara, every form is Ishvara. It is silly to think that form, in a form to invoke Ishvara is wrong. In fact, all that we do is one series of forms. Your language is a form. It is purely a form. We both of us decide, let the word tree have this meaning. Therefore, I can use the word tree, a form. You must know what is tree. Then it becomes a language for us. Every language is a form. Every letter that we write is a form. One has to know what it is. The whole life is lived in terms of a series of forms. Greet a person is a form. You send off a person is a form. Hi is a form. Hello is a form. Bye is a form. Music is nothing but form. One note is a form. A single note doesn't make music. A series of notes with gaps in between don't make music. A series of notes should come in certain succession. Then there is music. It's a form. So everything, this in fact, when you congratulate a person for his discovery, you don't break the fellow's skull and pat the brain. Congratulations, because it's all brain's work. It's a form. You don't pat, even patting is a form, but you don't pat the brain. You pat the back of the person. You shake hands with the person, all forms. If anybody says that nobody should worship a form, I don't know what does he say, what does he think. So he is worshipping a formless. If I say think of Ishvara, what you are going to think of? A formless? You can contain the formless in your thought. Every form is an expression of Ishvara. Therefore, in a given form, I can invoke. Or I can invoke Ishvara in a particular form. Look, eyes, wherever they are, they see. Human eyes see. The eyes of a cow see. The eyes of a tiger see. The eyes of a cat see. The eyes of an owl see. Wherever eyes are, they see. Wherever ears are, they hear. That means Ishvara is manifest in the form of eyes to see. So I can invoke Ishvara as the presiding deity of my eyes, because the samashti is Ishvara, the total manifestation is Ishvara. For my individual protection, individual eye protection, or eyesight improvement, or eyesight maintenance, to keep the danger away for the eyes, a retinal detachment away, I can invoke Ishvara as a deity presiding over eyesight. And therefore we can have any number of deities. And therefore in our culture, if anybody says that I worship the Lord in this form, we have no criticism to offer. We don't with a patronizing attitude accept. We accept totally validating that particular form of prayer. Any form of prayer is valid. But I don't say, therefore, every form of prayer is the same. I don't say that. Because you can have special prayers. In medicine, there is such a thing as broad spectrum penicillin. Broad spectrum penicillin means if they don't know what is the strain of bacteria causing some problems, then the broad spectrum is given so that it can destroy everything. All the benign bugs are destroyed. That's called broad spectrum. But no more anybody gives broad spectrum. Only in a special case they go for it. You go for specific. That is sophistication in medicine. Same thing in prayer, there is sophistication. Our culture is sophisticated, whether you like it. That is why there are different forms of prayer. For every ill, there is a prayer. For every aspect, for every problem, you have a prayer. And therefore, you have deities, you have forms of prayer, we have elaborate rituals. all for accomplishing ends, and therefore you really miss out if you don't have a ritual to perform. After all, wish is something in your heart. Somebody's birthday, your friend's birthday, you want to extend your wishes to that person. So you can just think of that person, that's enough. But then you express that happy birthday. So you physicalize, you vocalize your wishes, then the wish becomes much more real. And if you wrap up a gift and then extend your wishes to the person, you physicalize your wishes. And therefore your wish is solid. This is how we express ourselves. My prayer, my devotion becomes real when it is physicalized in terms of a ritual. That is why every temple is an altar of worship. A temple is not a hall of prayer. It is not just a place of assembly. It is an altar of worship. It's entirely different. I can't elaborately perform the ritual of worship, but I participate in a ritual of worship when a priest performs the same ritual at an altar. Therefore, temples are different. Our culture has to be understood in terms of this reality. It's not just a place of assembly. Perhaps we need to attach a place of assembly to every temple and attach a person also to the temple who can talk about it. Talk about the form, the content, etc. But that person has to understand all this. It's not easy. Our culture is culture of riches. Our problem is an embarrassment of riches. We are embarrassed by our own riches. We don't even know what they are. We don't have eyes to even estimate the value of every form that we have. And therefore, I would like to make this very clear, that a ritual of worship has no replacement, has no substitute. If you choose not to do it, admire the one who does it. It is wrong to dismiss it is after all a form. Everything is a form. Nobody deals with the formless unless you are a special person. You are a special person means a special person needs a specialist who is a special person according to me. Nobody deals with the formless. Every form of prayer is a form. The whole creation is but a form, honestly. When I teach you exactly what it is all about, the reality of your being, the reality of this world, the reality of what we call Ishvara. When we understand that, then you will understand all that is there is but form. It is a form that makes everything. Modern physics, quantum physics, make you enlighten in this very easily. Basically formless. You can't deal with electrons. When you say, I love this person, the one who says is assuming that he is a person who is equivalent to this body mind sense complex. And this whole thing is but electrons and other particles. It's not that one bunch of particles loves another bunch of particles. It is true. But it is the form that makes everything beautiful. And therefore, Kayikam karma is nitya karma. So nitya karma means to be done either daily, even occasionally. It is called nitya karma. It is to be done. Because every day we have our durita, means the past is getting unfolded. There are many hidden variables. When you live your life, you do destroy a lot of things. You do hurt people. You do hurt jantus. You do hurt. And especially in a competitive world, we have rules to hurt each other. And we follow the rules. It is all right to hurt the person. This time I hurt you, next time you hurt me. We have made rules to hurt each other, legalizing the hurt. That's true. Life is lived like that. And therefore, every day we earn papa dravya. Hurting each other, we make our livelihood. In eating also we do hurt. We do destroy life. And for all this, I have to do certain karma, certain form of prayer that neutralizes, and also a reaching out karma that also helps to neutralize. This twofold activity is inevitable. No one has to make a choice here. Even though one has a choice, when one learns more and more choices become less and less. What choice you have got, once you know this is right, then you can only choose the wrong. Only you can choose among many things which are right, but you have no choice between right and wrong. We don't have words like good and bad. We have got words only right and wrong, equivalent to dharma and adharma, sadhu and asadhu, proper and improper, appropriate, inappropriate, sadhu, asadhu. Our culture is not a culture of judgment. We don't even see Ishvara as a judging person. Ishvara is in the form of laws, a conscious being who is manifest in the form of dynamic world. Understand? And therefore, there is no judgment involved. In fact, that Ishvara is to be understood much more. To live a very sane life, I need to understand Ishvara. The more I understand, the more I would be objective. The more I am objective, the more I am sane. Why? Because all insanity is subjectivity. Who you are is one thing, what you think of yourself is quite another. What is there is one thing, you see something else, and that is exactly where one loses oneself, one's judgment, and therefore we say one is insane. Really speaking, if all are 100% sane, the whole humanity will be found insane. If there is a group of people who are 100% sane, and from another planet, this group visits the world, our planet, and they will they will look at us, seeing us, wondering how the whole humanity can be insane. Why? Because in different degrees, we have subjectivity. Out there is a world, and what we see, what we make out of it is quite subjective. Reduction of subjectivity, being alive to what is, really is a sane life. And what is Ishvara. Therefore, to be aware of Ishvara is to be sane, totally sane. In my awareness of Ishvara, I can see myself in order. And the implications are too many. We will look into all this. So after completing this prayer topic, and thank you, we'll see you again.